Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. So good to have you back sharing some energy with me today. For those of you that are new here, I am a professional intuitive empath, and if you're interested in booking with me for a reading, you can find me on evolvingwithmonette.com. That's one word, evolvingwithmonette.com. So I'm going to jump right into it. It has been a day and I have been working and working and working, and I will tell you, my angel said it was time for a reading and that we need to start chatting and doing those more. So here I am. Here I am to serve you guys. So let's see what's going on, collective. This is definitely going to be for the collective. It is not sign specific. I think I will be doing some sign specific readings later this week. In fact, I will actually be doing that. What I want you to know is the song that I was channeling was Dirty Dancing. I had the time of my life. And I've never felt this way before, and I'm trying to get into it. I've got a couple cards coming out already, and we're going to just shuffle up and ask for there to be a divine connection that guides us to the things that we need to hear, the lessons that we need to learn, and the ways that we need to evolve, okay? So, I was hearing, you're the one thing I can't get enough of, yeah. And if I tell you one thing, this could be all that. Whew. All right, let's get right into the reading, guys, and see what's going on. First two cards out of the deck. Listen, I don't know how this song is going to match up, but you know that my angels work magic. God works magic, God work magic, God work... Okay, sorry. Sometimes when I'm getting things, it's coming so fast. That's Chance the Rapper. God works magic, God worked magic, God worked magic in my life. And this bag, something about Yanla, because this bag just fixed my life. This bag just fixed my life. When he's talking about that, he's talking about specifically the financial income that he has. So for somebody here, obviously that's going to be something that you guys are focused on regarding building finances, and also the juxtaposition between a previous way of existing and being versus moving forward and being endowed with everything that you need. It just changes the vibration of the standard of the way that you're living. And that's something that's coming in here as a channel message for you guys, is that there's a before and after, okay? And there is a lesson that I'll have coming up here about first half and second half, but the thing to note is there is a before and after. The first half, second half theory, it regards the fact that some of us start out with a pretty rough first half of our lives, and then there is an ascension that goes into the second half, and it can skyrocket you into whatever stratosphere it is that you may have only dreamed about but was always out of reach. There is something about the shifting of the financial strata for some of you guys here that puts you into a place where you're really able to embody your dreams because you have the financial backing and the grounding, the roots, the connectivity in order for you to manifest. That root chakra is associated with the color red. And the reading has begun. A throat chakra hit means the reading has begun. First card out of the deck. Speaking of the color red, Angel said, pick up the cards now. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so excited about this reading with you guys tonight because this is coming from a purely channel place. Look at the red here, but look at what's happening. There's this deep anxiety regarding the Nine of Swords, and with the Four of Wands, after that deep anxiety, some of you guys have been in this position of stitching yourself back together, right? Really trying to get yourself back into a place where you feel like yourselves again. But look what's happening here. There's a mirroring effect regarding the color that's in both of these cards. And as I was saying, it was associated with the root chakra. Here is the root chakra. I think it's very fascinating that she's grounding. She's literally on the ground and trying to get rest, but she can't. The hungry demons, I call them, are circling above. Now, in this deck, the swords are represented by air because communication is mercurial, associated with Gemini, and swords that swipe through the air and make that sound, that's what they are conveying whenever you're looking at a regular tarot deck. But these have gotten so incredible that now we're dealing with something that I think is a much better depiction. Rather than the sword that cuts, it's the bird that circles. It's the worry, the anxiety, the kind of attachments that keep you stressed out. And this is literally the depiction of it with the red here. And the red here, what we're dealing with, like I said, was that grounding. But this is really about you. Oh God, the picture is so beautiful. Remember I was talking about you being in a place in your life where you were always worried about your finances. Quite literally, she is draped in concerns about financial ascension, right? This is, I don't know how this song has anything to do with this. So guys, let's see how they do this, okay? So she is draped in her concern. She's literally wearing her heart on her sleeve, or her concern. And the energy that shows up here for me regarding her doing that is that she is in this space of wondering, when is the next thing coming in? Will ends meet? Will I manifest enough? Will I have enough? How am I going to pay that bill? Am I going to have to rob Peter to pay Paul? It's very much that kind of energy. And then finally, after nightmares and sleepless nights, because she is sitting up while the pillow's on the ground in the resting position, she is not resting. And a lot of you divine feminines and empaths have not been resting. And then we slide into this energy where sometimes we just exhaust ourselves. I think a lot of us need to come into a place of rest. And that's what this is about. It is so time for some of you guys to be rested, resting, relaxed. And what I'm seeing here is, if we're paralleling, I'm looking at the masculine energy and I'm hearing jar of hearts, right? Collecting your jar of hearts. Who do you think you are? But here, masculine energy. You said you didn't want me to tell the truth and shame the devil. Not today, Satan. But here we have you, divine feminine empath, sewing yourself back together again. Let me see if yeah, we got it in focus there. I love this depiction. This is a Four of Swords. This is also about taking a break, but I love the depiction of being in the nest. Let me go back in for you guys. Being in the nest and resting after a period of anguish and anxiety, and being able to really regenerate your soul, stitching yourself back together, one needle and one thread at a time. And that is when we start to get into the place of surrender, right? Now, the next thing that came out here was the Two of Wands. So I'm going to clarify that here. After we rest, pardon me, guys. After we rest, we get into this place with the Two of Wands, where we are trying to choose. Definitely looking back at our old life and wondering what we're going to do as we move into the new. A lot of you guys are not releasing some parts still. So as you're in this rest state, your angels are working with you on understanding and having clarity about the fact that you need to be in a place where you fully let go. Yeah, you fully let go. It's really tempting, especially because this can sometimes become a companion. Yeah, it can be the way that we are used to being and existing, which is the bare minimum, which is not having our needs met. Empaths, we are notorious for being malnourished. I have a video coming up about Robin and the song Honey, and in it she says a line, as I'm talking about some of us coming into healthier unions or deeper connectivity or sexual unions or even friendships or partnerships that are just fulfilling, that satiate you. She says, let it soak right into the flesh, open up and say yes, never had this kind of nutrition. This is lack. This is starvation. This is not nutrition. So when you're in a state of perpetual worry, you're not actually grounding into being able to nourish and feed yourself. There are no vitamins. There is nothing that you're extracting from that experience other than it is a depletion to your soul. And with the Two of Wands, in order for you to get to the place that you need to get to, you have to release fully so that you can start to have that kind of nutrition. Let me clarify the Two of Wands. I knew this was going to come up. You have to surrender. Judgment. I love this depiction. I'm going to find it for you in the Light Seers Tarot, very appropriately named. The animation and the depictions, if you guys grew up in the 80s, it feels like Saturday morning cartoons come to life. It's delightful. But the Judgment card is always about surrender. And as I'm looking for this, what I need you to understand is it's like a Holy Ghost surrender. This is the card of Jesus. Take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands, 'cause I can't do this on my own. I'm letting go. Yeah. That's what happens when you've been in this state. This is a muscle. This is a clench. This is not an easy position to maintain. Eventually, you will do this. You will fully and completely exhaust yourself, right? And you'll just have to rest. And that's when God can step in and do what needs to be done. Judgment, surrender. Here, we were surrendering to a manipulation, some kind of Machiavellian force, whether it be our own or from outside energy. And what I mean by that is sometimes we can have the ideals of other people's financial stability foisted upon us by our parents, by our tribe, by our community. And so this indicates that you had surrendered to something and it was keeping you, look deeper, trapped, completely ensnared. Look at those gnarly roots and the twisting. I mean, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. The crescent moon, things not fully revealed. Some force, something, some destiny controlling you, your thoughts, and even in your despair. God is essentially saying this. Surrender. Doesn't that look easier, guys? Doesn't that look easier than what you were doing? And still, there's confusion. Or are there choices? I'd like to look at this. Oh, there are choices. Oh, there are choices. And now we get to the song. Somebody here must have needed to hear about finances, but also stability and also the energy of lack, worry, and poverty consciousness, because it doesn't just mean that you're dealing with your financial state. It also has to do with relationships. How many of us have been in these lackluster, unhealthy, unfulfilling, barely meeting our needs, let alone our wants? Check out that Robin one. How many of us have just been with like this basic subsistence of life in order to make other people that weren't as ambitious feel better, instead of going after what we wanted, which was wish fulfillment? With the star here, Aquarian energy. This is about thinking outside of the box as well. We are in the age of Aquarius. We are in a 5-year, the end of a lot of Saturn cycles for those of us that did our work in the last 3 years. And by doing our work, I mean being in hell. Can you guys relate? Being like contorted, being as twisted and as gnarly as those roots we were just looking at. I was trying to find it. It always happens where my cards are just like, goodbye, you are the weakest link. Okay, fine, guys. Being as twisted and as gnarly as those roots that we looked at a few minutes ago. We did our work, and that means that there is an ascension, and that means that you can, this is like an acceleration to me, because Aquarian energy rules space travel as well. So think about that, light years ahead. So for the work that you put in, the grueling, backbreaking, tilling the soil, energetic work, divine feminines and empaths, this is also specifically for practitioners. Those of you that are in any healing modalities or doing anything like that, you have to understand how important and needed you are right now. What we just did over the last 4 years was akin to being midwives, okay? Literally helping to emotionally transmute energy for the collective that was probably having one of the most incredible labors, one of the most terrible labors ever, regarding really having to give birth to our deepest, darkest fears, right? The perversive disconnection, the jingoistic energy, racism. We had to look at all of the things, health, issues regarding the pandemic, loss, actual death. We are all still in a state of shock. And yet some of us are feeling this incredible wave of energy, like we might have tapped into another percentile of our brain power and usage. What do they say? We only use 5%? Like maybe some of us in the last few years ascended to 6. And what I'm seeing here is limitless. That's what they're channeling right now. And there is a cautionary tale there, of course, in limitless. But I'm talking about the part where you're in brilliant creation. And they're also showing me, and I don't know what the name of the movie is, Scarlett Johansson, and she assimilates all of this information very quickly, but there's again a cautionary tale about what the cost of that is. And Empath, Divine Feminine, I want you to know that you guys paid a cost. And because of that, you get a payoff. You get a quid pro quo, essentially, that happens with the universe. Even though we don't go into being in this field of work thinking that we're going to get a quid pro quo, we are getting it because we get the opportunity to tap into this Aquarian energy. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Aquarius, all that Hyatt Ashbury, Woodstocky kind of, are you going to San Francisco? Be sure to wear a flower in your hair. Come on, angels. I love when they come involved. And so what they're saying to you is that this is about experimentation. This is literally, y'all, I'm not even trying to like cause y'all any ruckus in your life, but literally Aquarius, if you read it, is about being experimental, dealing with science, dealing with, again, the future, back to the future. So, Back to the Future, Dirty Dancing. That was the song that I was channeling, Back to the Future. That was the 80s. Okay, 80s baby, some of this is for you. Let's talk about what we have. Let's go from the 80s to the millennials here. What's poppin'? Some of y'all got options. That's Jack Harlow, for those of you that don't know. Someone says they want to see what the drip drop is. I'm not even kidding, y'all. Like, I know you're like, girl, you're being extra. But what I tell you, someone wants to see what the drip... Okay, let me see. Oh, you know what? Swiper, no swiping. I have tools for this. Guys, it's been a day. Did I tell you it's been a day? So I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove to you, prove it to you that someone wants to see what you're going to do. Okay. Someone wants to know how you're going to go. Come on, come on. Someone wants to see who you want to be. Someone might even get down on bended knee. Come on, come on. Yes. What we have here, guys, is this incredible, Mufasa. Every time I see that card, I said, now, Jesus, who made these cards, Lord? But here's our cautionary tale. That's a little bit of, now this is the Mufasa. You see that red? Oh, look what we've surrendered. Oh, all to Jesus. Oh, now we can sing, right? All to Jesus. I surrender all to him. I give my all. Listen, y'all, if you understood that surrendering this shenanigans is immediately going to lead to this shenanigans, wouldn't you let it go? Let it go. Can't hold it back. Come on, can't hold it back anymore. Come on, the lovers. Come on, equal give and take number 6, the angel number. Come on, energy of Geminians. Come on, mercurial energy of the swords. Look how God's so good. He takes us from the 9 of swords, which is anxiety and overthinking, into the 6, which has associations with the lovers. It has associations with, that's what's on your mind now. So just wanted to say that. But because I like to make a big, pretty picture, we're going to do that. And we're going to get into this. I really want you guys to see this. Y'all better recognize. Y'all better recognize. Look, here's where we're starting. You guys have the dignity of choice. There are some things that you're going to have to clarify in yourselves what you want. You're going to have to ask yourself what you want, what you learned from this last season of lessons. I have some other cards here that let me know what you did learn. And so before I go into this, because they're saying it's the order of operations, I'm hearing that. Also, there it's step by step, ooh, but yeah, all that. I'm hearing a lot of songs tonight. It's the order of operations, okay? So what they're saying to me is that some of you guys have gone out of order. Like I'm hearing order in the court. I'm hearing out of effing order. Like it's intense. I'm seeing that there is this necessity to get back to something that's more old-fashioned and back to basics. I think that we have so lost ourselves regarding the way that we are dealing with one another. And I think that whoever's listening is somewhat in agreement with that. And while I do love to have diversified thought, this is something I think that is important for people that are especially doing energetic work. You guys that are watching, you guys are coming into a season where you have to purify your love. Okay, not to sound cheesy and like a Prince song, that not that that would be cheesy, but it's like because I'm hearing purify myself in the waters of Minnetonka, you know, like I'm hearing Lake Minnetonka. I'm hearing that there's this energy. There's something about water. Is this water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What is this, guys? Purify themselves. What are they purifying? Okay. Washing. Wash over me. Make me over. Make me over. Make me nice. I want to be made over. Got it. Whew. Y'all, they take me sometimes. They send me. Here's what we were leaving behind. Apathy. Which is interesting because the angel of temperance usually means things are coming into balance, but the way that I read this is always Sagittarian energy, and I associate that with Jay-Z, especially when it comes up next to the King of Swords. If you guys think of the dynamic between Jay-Z and Beyonce, it took him forever to get his act together, forever to act right. A lot of you guys dealt with divine masculines like that and or actual narcissists like that just never ever got it right and never were going to. At least Jay-Z on some level has evolved, and as he evolves, oh, message, come on, Jesus, tell me the story, angels. They said as he evolved, he started to actually step into his blessings. They said Jay-Z was always going to be blessed and make money. It was his destiny, but he had to evolve past the effery and the Beckys with the good hair in order to get to be a billionaire. Come on, angels. They said that was actually his process of ascension. So when we saw Jay-Z submit to sitting on the couch and almost looking like he was in detention while he was confessing his sins for the effery he'd been in, for the things he had taken B through, they said that is when God stepped in and said, now let us show you what we can do. And that's when we got 444. Come on, angel number. 444 is the album he wrote where he talked about being a married man, a grown-ass man, a person who stands in their integrity. And that's the person that they're sending to some of the, okay, that's what this next row is about. We're going to wrap it up. But that's what they want you to understand, the cautionary tale of Jay-Z. And it's funny, he has a song called The Story of OJ, which is essentially about looking at things in America regarding race in two different ways, but regarding your love relationship, I want you to look at it in two different ways. That's the lesson for divine masculine, is ascend and really watch the blessings begin and roll in, yeah? Because anybody connected to you guys, divine feminine and empaths, is blessed and highly favored. They get in the wave. There's like this kind of like golden, like I don't know how to say it. It's like what they're showing me is like someone putting their hand through the water, but the water has not just glitter on it, it has that metallic, like a metallic sheen, and it ripples. It looks like things in Avatar. That kind of 3D effect is what they're showing me. And they're saying that that's the energy. They said that's our auric field. They said that's what we do. And so that's why people are very attracted to you guys too. There's a little message that I didn't expect. That's why people are attracted to you, because even though it is not perceptible to the human eye, in the 5D, people see it, they feel it. We hear the songs like a moth to a flame. The reason that music is so powerful too regarding the channeling, and that they're saying that they want you to pay attention this week to the songs that are coming to you, because it's not coincidental, it's actually communication. And it's because what they're doing is letting you have the human experience. They allowed people to go through things, divine feminine, empath, practitioner, they allowed you to go through things so that you could teach about them. And for musicians, that's how they convey that. And they are highly tasked. And they're also talking about the fact that some of you guys are in a highly creative mode, road. They were shaking my hand like this. There's someone here that's like got something to think. You're thinking that you're not going to have capabilities because of Parkinson's, or because there's some kind of like you've lost some kind of motor skill, okay? And they said that that's something that you're absolutely going to regain, but there is a powerful lesson in your pain. Okay, that just came in. All right, guys. So here's the deal. We had Jay-Z. We were not emotionally satisfied, some of you guys, and then it went, and it was because they were the King of Swords. Jay-Z, when he was in his previous incarnation, before Beyonce had tamed him, before he made the choice to ascend, essentially, and tapped into his feminine side and started to realize. I remember him saying that Blue Ivy taught him how to love, regarding the fact that she would hold him accountable for terrible behavior or toxic behavior he had that he never thought anything about, but because he loved her so much, he started to see himself through her eyes. That's the power of divine feminine. Little Blue Ivy is a divine feminine, is she not? She's powerful. And so that's how she started to realign her deity. It's like everything happened. Sometimes these things that happen in our life are all to gear us. It's Rascal Flatts. God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. It is to gear us. Everything he went through with Beyonce, even the rejection, even the pain, even the elevator, even $1 billion. We want to talk about going down in the elevator with Solange and all that drama, was also that he could conceive and get blue because the divine feminine healing came through his child. For some of you guys, there's a powerful message about that as well. Sorry guys, there's a lot of stuff coming through regarding your child being the key, the oracle, the healer, things of that nature. Now, here's what's going on here. We left this behind. This was unfulfilling. This is cruel. This is withholding, cold energy, very little compassion there. And then you started to feel not chosen, not valued, and not like anything in your life was coming through. And this is a make me over, make me nice. You want to be made over. This is a glow up divine feminine for some of you guys. This is what is coming in. And then we're wrapping because I've got 5 minutes left. Set a timer for myself. I wanted to make sure that I got this in for you. So you guys have some choices to make with the 7 of Cups. You have some people to figure out. You have people to assess. You have to figure out what you want. And it's not just people to assess. This isn't about dating so much as it is about what's your next career step? What's your next physical step? What's your next health step? What's your next step with your parental units? What's your next step with your children? What's your next step with your grandchildren? How are you reintegrating back into the world right now? Because this isn't always, it's not always about love. It's love of self too. And that's also the greatest empowerment that attracts highly and very rapidly. Video coming up, a message about that. Pour love into yourself. But they're saying you have so many choices right now to bring yourself complete wish fulfillment, to be in a completely happy state, blissfully, completely aware. I'm going to clarify that card because I want to caution anybody that's leaning into addictions. It's time to come out right now, okay? It's like I'm calling you out, y'all. It's time to come out. Your angels are calling you out. What's coming up for you? And if you rebalance yourself, whatever the addiction is, if you start doing some daily disciplines, you're going to be able to pull this in, which is the actual thing you want. The love offer. Someone is fixated, guys, on you. Someone is fixated on you. And I feel like a couple people with the 7 of Cups were always dealing with multiples. But for some of you guys, this is really a thing that's happening. Like, you really have this kind of energy. Very interesting. One does look younger than the other, I will say. And so that's going to be for some of you guys. That may be a drastic younger May-December romance situation. What I will tell you here too is, meaning your choices. There may be a younger and older choice. But some of you guys are still defensive. And they're saying that's healthy. I think that a healthy dose of this right now is what is called for before you get to this. But my God, when you get to this, I don't even know if I will see any of you guys, because that is the ultimate thing, because it's the thing you've been wanting, which is real balance and communication and all of the things. What I'm going to do is clarify a couple of these cards before we go, and then we will wrap up our message tonight. So what was the song at the beginning? I had the time of my life. And if I tell you one thing, so let's take a look at why the 9 of Cups is here. Yeah, not leaning back on immature or old habits with the page here. We're dealing with that kind of energy. The 7 of Cups is clarified by the 3 of Pentacles. So collaboration and working together. This is also about community. This is also about learning new lessons from new energies as well. That's fantastic. New teachers coming in for you. I'm hearing grasshopper, sensei, okay? So new teachers coming in. The 2 of Pentacles is clarified by the Hermit. They want you to be a student regarding really vetting whoever the next energy is that comes into your life. I'm all about a good old vet, and take your time. Old fashioned, remember back to the 80s in that regard, like modem dial up, like that. Like, take your time. Take your time. Okay, your angels are really adamant. They're like, take your time. Let's clarify that Seven of Wands. Clarify by the Queen of Cups. Be grounded in your emotions, sweet empath. Defend yourself. You're no longer some juicy victim doormat. You are no longer somebody's supply. Yes, you have all that well of emotion, juicy energy, y'all. Good sexy time. Look at that water behind you. Good sexy time. But the energy here is that you don't give it to everybody, and that's what makes it precious. Nobody, listen, masculine energy or feminine energy that's balanced, masculine and feminine balanced energy, both, we all contain both energies, right? For example, I'm in a season in my life where I'm in a much more masculine energy, okay? Which is interesting. I know you're looking at me like, what, sis? But masculine energy is about business. It's about like chasing after dreams. It's about making things become a reality. It's about foresight and all the rest of it. I also have my feminine energy. It's on point too, but I'm balanced. I would say I'm much more balanced than I've ever been in my life. But what I will say more so is that I'm utilizing it. See, you have to understand where to spread and how to kind of like spread your gifts in the right places. Your masculine energy is used for the power of really manifesting, and it's very like conquistador and go after. Feminine energy I'm using in my creative sensibilities and whatever, and I feel fulfilled because I'm exercising both. But that masculine is so powerful for me, and you guys need to tap into that for yourself. And I feel that energy, and I miss that. There was a time in my life where I was in it all the time, and I absolutely abandoned it to become this total ultra feminine nurturer. But that got me in trouble where I had to protect myself like a lot of you guys did, right? And I had to figure out like, oh yeah, I have to protect myself. I have to learn how to fight. And some of you guys need to stay in balance as you're moving forward into these love relationships. It's not just that you have to fight. You know, all my life I had to fight Miss Sophia from The Color Purple. No, that's not it. And for some of you, it may be.